So this is an Elio drive, named after a gentleman up in the Edmonton Woodturning Guild. I don't know the man, so we just call it that for now. It's basically a large sort of a drive center. This one's the 3.5 inch model. There's a 2.5, and this is the 2-inch model. So all of them have a center pin that is movable with a little Allen key and a little screw right in there. You can loosen that up, and this center pin actually comes right out. It's got a little keyway on there to match it up in the with the Allen key, the set screw. So you can set it out however far you want from the faceplate side, depending on how deep you want it to drive into your work. So if we set it in like that, tighten that up. We can also use these screws to tighten in however you want. If we've got a lopsided piece of wood, then we can do that. So these are great for natural edge forms, any wet wood, any irregular surface burls, and even just regular flat stock that you might pick up at a wood supplier. So number 2 Morse taper on it fits the headstock, and then that's it. At this point I am working on an improvement on it to make it be able to use a drawbar. So right now, if you're using this, make sure you have the tailstock engaged all the time. Otherwise it could drift out on you. So, but if I'm able to make the drawbar work, then it'll be safe to use as a faceplate just by itself as well. So to use it as a faceplate, you can remove these screws. You don't necessarily have to, but it just makes it easier to mount. And then there's 3 countersunk holes on the faceplate to mount to your stock and drive screws, number 10s or number 12 wood screws, into your wood, and then you're set to go. So it's a dual use, versatile drive center. Certainly everybody should have in their toolbox as a wood turner. The same functionality exists in all 3 sizes, the 3.5 inch, the 2 inch, and the 2.5 inch. So the smaller ones, 2 inch and 2.5 inch, have smaller screws. Let me pull one out here, show you a comparison. So I can hold those so you can see them properly. So the 2 inch and 2.5 inch use a small screw that can expose 5/8 or so, maybe 3/4 of an inch of the screw through the faceplate. The large 3.5 has a larger screw that allows it to expose more into the faceplate, through the faceplate. So great thing to know. Plenty of room for adjustment of the screws on either case, whichever one you're using. So next I'm going to show you how I put them to use. Thanks. Okay, what I want to show here is I've got the Elio drive in the headstock, and I've got my blank here kind of set ready to mount. What I'm going to do is use this center pin, because what I've done for the blank, or the bowl blank, is I've drilled a 5/8 inch hole. You could use that for a screw chuck, and that's certainly a good valid method. I'm going to use the Elio drive and see how that works. The 5/8 inch hole was used on my bandsaw cutting jig to create the outer shape. So if I expose this pin out a ways, and then that pin is 5/8 of an inch as well, that'll go right into that hole and help me center the piece. And these other screw pins will secure the piece so it will spin. So let's lock that into place. Do that, and then I'll get the piece mounted, and then we'll tighten this down. You can see as I'm mounting it, the pin actually helps me get the piece on there and hold it on there while I get the tailstock up. So back over to this side. I got the piece up there. It's kind of resting on the banjo, and then I can dial in my tailstock support. Okay, just a reminder that I, on the back side here, I used a 3/16 Allen wrench, and I drove these set screws in to the blank on the other side, probably a good 1/4 inch or more. So it's on there really good. I'm certain it's going to drive just perfect.